In the world of amateur baseball, what time is it? Jeremy, it's time for the main event. Jason Bristol, along with Jeremy Booth, the president of the New Balance Future Stars Series, here for the main event, which is your signature event. And we have some exciting news on this selection show. There's a new host for this event.
Yeah, you know, we had to call an audible, Jason. I mean, we went down this road, with the Sports Authority in Houston, and man, we're so thankful for their relationship and their efforts to bring the event to the city of Houston. There was, we'll call it some unplanned interference, and we'll say that this was very late developing. It was caught everybody by surprise. It's unfortunate, and there was just a little, there was just no wiggle room on getting this stuff done in a way that it was supposed to. And so, we're very thankful again for our partners with the Sports Authority. Thankful we're able to find such a place as we did as quickly as we were able to do it. And when a matter of hours, when it became very clear that the Houston Astros were unwilling to adjust and honor a year of preparation and planning by both parties. The Texas Rangers stepped right in and offered us a place to play and a place to do it and recognized the prospects that are on the field. And despite the best efforts of everybody in Houston, including the baseball operations department, the Astros to make this thing work, we ran into a block we couldn't get past. And man, we're looking forward to getting to Dallas.
And now the main event is October 4th through the 6th. And your new host, the Texas Rangers, as Jeremy just announced. So what exactly is the main event? Well, if you're watching this, you probably know, but just to offer some context, Jeremy, you are the grassroots program for New Balance Baseball. These players, many of them have been with you for years and years and years, and these are some of the top prospects for the class of 25 and, in some cases, the class of 2026.
Yeah, we have a pretty broad selection here. It's a very talented group of players. Jason, what we do is we're pro-oriented, and we're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, in the land of the amateur baseball industry, you're for everybody. We are not for everybody. We are definitely focused on guys that have some ambassadorship to what they're going to do in the game, have character and some give back, and a solid system of being able to lead this game to the next phase. Everybody we've had on staff has been somebody who has done that, whether it's played, coached, or scouted, but part of that type of advanced level of baseball that's so hard to get to, and they all pay it forward. And so the next group of players that's part of this has to have that same core integrity values. Now, with that, we got some guys with good arms, and we have some guys with power, and we have some guys with upside, and guys that project to be, playing in the big leagues one day, as we just had a fifth one graduate, 2 days ago to the big leagues. So very, very proud of this group, very happy and excited to get going.
We are host Houston, but the selection process, one of the main parts of it happened back in Nashville, Tennessee. A few weeks ago, Jeremy and his team hosting the Future Stars Series National Combine, athletes from around the country showing off their skills for members of the Future Stars staff and Major League Baseball scouts. The results of that combine you're about to see. A field of around 150 athletes have been knocked down to 60. And now we will start with the first 11 picks of this New Balance Future Stars Series selection show. Pick number 1 is Gardner Young, an outfielder. Number 2, Jordan Taylor, right-handed pitcher. Waylon Walsh, infielder, third baseman. Mikhail Holden, right-handed pitcher and infielder. Madrid Tucker, an infielder shortstop from Florida. Diego Josue Cruz, an infielder shortstop. Aiden Shell, right-handed pitcher infielder. Benton Hickman, a right-handed pitcher. Eric Hines, an outfielder. And another outfielder, Jacoby Bowens. And now, Jeremy, let's break down these first 11 players. Let's start with the first selection, Gardner Young, outfielder from Mississippi. He's uncommitted, but he comes from a winning program. His high school has won 7 straight state titles, and his teammate was a first-round pick, Connor Griffin, chosen 9th overall by the Pirates.
Yeah, Gardner Young is an athletic, go-getter type outfielder. He's got aggressive position player makeup. It's a 60 arm in the outfield. It's power, it's upside, it's base stealing ability. Reminds me a little bit of a Brian Bogusevic back in the day from Tulane. But yeah, and I know Brian's an Astros commentator, an analyst, but that type of body, that type of upside in his ability, whether he gets it out of it, we'll see. Mississippi kids take a little bit longer to develop with that, but Gardner has all the makings of it.
And the great thing about the main event, you pull players from everywhere. Our next player is from Canada, Jordan Taylor, 6'2", 200 pounds, uncommitted, 90-92 with a plus slider. At your combine, what do you like about Jordan Taylor?
So JT's actually been better than that since he left. It's really on. It's trending the right direction. He's up to 94 now. The breaking ball is an electric, extensive breaking ball that expands the strike zone. He can throw it in the zone and out. Fastball has some heavy life. It's a sinker, slider type guy in the end that gives a lot of people fits.
We always enjoy going back into the Wayback Machine. Here's a name, Madrid Tucker. Oh yeah, Dad, former first-round pick. Michael Tucker played a long time in the major leagues after being the 10th overall pick in the 92 draft. He's from Fort Myers, Florida, just oozes athleticism.
Yeah, he's not quite Dad. It's a different position, different profile, but he is every bit of athletic. Football player in the state of Florida. Can stay short. Whether he does that long-term and gets run off, we'll find out. It's something for him to determine, but he can stay there. He'll go out as a shortstop. He can hit, and he can steal bases.
We love comps, Jeremy and I. We love comps. Benton Hickman, right-handed pitcher. I've seen you say possibly Tim Hudson, Hudson Street. He's up to 92, and he's also an Arizona commit.
He's a Houston Street guy for me. Now, look, Tim Hudson was the same type of stature, a little bit bigger, a little more physical, but he has that type of profile as a starting pitcher. Ultimately, this guy's going to come out of the bullpen, I think, in the end, and not because of that he can't start, but because that's where his body's going to fit, and it's a heavy, heavy, heavy fastball. It's a heavy breaking ball, and he throws a bunch of strikes.
We talked about the first two guys off the board. Waylon Walsh, infielder, third baseman, switch hitter. What do you like about Waylon?
Everything. This guy can pick it up. He's got power. He has feel to hit. He's a great kid. He's a competitor. And when he's in the box, the game kind of stops, slows down. You watch what he does when he swings the bat, and you watch how he goes about it. He's got a big league profile for sure.
So those are our first 11 picks, and now let's go through picks 12 through 21. At pick number 12, from Georgia, right-handed pitcher Adria Casaliba. Left-handed pitcher, first baseman, a member of the class of 26, R.J. Cope. Bodie Allen, a right-handed pitcher. Wade Cooper, right-handed pitcher. A catcher, Miles Mays. Infielder, Ivan Tatis. Carson Trichel, right-handed pitcher. Owen Page, right-handed pitcher. From California, right-handed pitcher David Weiser. And infielder, first baseman Dale Sutton. And in breaking down this group of players, I think, Jeremy, we have to start with the largest one, 6'8", 235 pounds. That's R.J. Cope. Future position is kind of up in the air, even though he's been up to 91 at your national combine in Nashville.
Yeah, we have some guys that like him as a hitter. He's got some levers and some power, and we have some guys like him on the mound, and we have some guys that figure he's going to be able to pick. I don't know that he's going to be able to pick. The game kind of picks for you. And RJ, the funny thing is that week I had him for 8 days. I had him in the tournament before that, and I had him in the combine with that, and I've also had him for several years. So I'm very familiar with the kid. I've seen him at 93. I've seen the slider be a plus pitch. I think he's David Price. I've said that to his dad. I've said that to him. It doesn't mean that with a college program you can't go out and hit a little bit. Doesn't mean you're going to have a pro upside when it comes offensively. For me, he's David Price, and that's a Cy Young Award winner. That's pretty good.
That is very good. At number 12 was Adria Casaliba, Georgia Premier Academy. You know that program very well. He's a USF commit. 92 to 95, does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's a little bit better than that at times. Okay. 92 to 95 is where he lives. It's a USF commit. I am hearing rumblings that may change. So there's some staff changes, and we know what happens in college baseball today. It's the wild, wild west. We don't know where we're going or what's going to happen. And, if you're going to Lamar University, you can be at LSU tomorrow. So we just don't know yet. So when it comes to where he's going to end up, ultimately, I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's a draft. I think he's a draft guy. He's a front of the rotation type starter. He has electric arm. He has breaking balls. He's a conversion guy. It's a position player that's converting to the mound. It takes a little bit longer, but man, those are fun to dream on, and he fits that mold.
Let's stay with the Georgia Premier Academy. A player you know well has been through the program many, many years. It's Dale Sutton, big power, 6'3", 215, underclass, elite alum, Caribbean Classic. He's been through it all. Also, He's familiar with change. He comes from a military family, has lived in Wisconsin, Germany, Oklahoma. Again, when I picture Dale Sutton, I just think big dude, big power, and BP.
Yeah, it's right-handed power. It's exactly right. I mean, he plays a corner. Jason, no matter where he fits in the lineup, he's going to have to play corner, right? He's not going to play short. He's not going to play second. He's not going to play center. He's going to have to hit and hit a lot. And over time, that power has begun to show up. He showed it the last couple of days in Nashville. Man, I cannot tell you how much I needed to see it from him because that's his ultimate role. He can get to it, and he's, again, right-handed power.
Let's dip into the catching ranks. Miles Mays from Midlothian, Texas. Thick lower half, very physical, 6 feet, 195 pounds. He's a power 5 guy, no doubt, when you look at his profile. Yeah,
he can hit, man. You know, one thing, Miles, I'm not worried about is his bat. Defensively, it's a maintenance body. I've told him that. I was a maintenance body. You know, it's part of the conditioning when it comes to being a thicker guy. But hands work, feet work. When his direction is good, he delivers the ball on time. He can play every day in the big leagues as a regular. Whether or not it develops into that's ultimately on the player. But Miles has the makeup, he has the family support, he has the drive, and he has the aptitude to be able to make that happen.
And again, to get to the main event, you had to go through the National Combine. One of the most talked about players there in Nashville was another kid from Georgia Premier Academy, Ivan Tatis.
Yeah, part of that Latin American pipeline that brought him Casaliba as well. Tatis is, I believe, settled in New Jersey before going with his family, before going to Georgia. It might be Julio Franco. And I know that guy played a long time, but man, he picks it up and he can hit, uses the whole field, runs. A lot of these guys, the separators that they're going to have tool-wise is their skill. And his skill is bat to ball. His skill is execution. His skill is motor. All those things carry, and all those things will find him showing up, you know? And as I say Julio Franco, let me give you another one. Ooh, Mauricio Dubon. Could be Mauricio Dubon. That's the type of guy this guy could be, and that's a fun player to have.
And, of course, it's all about the next wave, as you mentioned, the comps. And now let's hear from one of the coaches who works with Jeremy very closely. Steven Randolph, drafted by the Yankees in '95, played 18 seasons, Diamondbacks, Astros, Phillies, Dodgers, and Royals. And here's Steven Randolph now on coaching the next wave of baseball talent.
It's just great when they kind of respect you and have that, you develop that relationship with them, especially when you see them over a couple of years. And then to see them go on, especially like at the college level, and you're looking at Omaha, and there's like one after the other coming out there, or a Braden Montgomery, or a, oh God, there's a few of them that come through there, and then all of a sudden you see them on draft day and they're going in the first round, second round, and it's just, it's a warm, fuzzy feeling, you know. It's pretty cool.
Steven Randolph, definitely one of your MVPs.
Yeah, he's been around since the beginning. I mean, you know, Steven's got the know-how, he has the drive, the desire, the heart for this, he has the care, he has the understanding. You know, Steven's a very selfless guy, gives everything he can to the organization, to the players. We're very fortunate to have him.
And now the selection show rolls on, but first, a quick break.
Hey, 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 what you got to say? Say, hey, hey, hey. What you got
About us, we got now.
I've been using Franklin my whole life. I fell in love with them when I was young, playing in high school, wearing them, and all the way up to the big leagues.
Semi-superstitious, if I'm playing well with a set, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be on my hands every single day.
I love them. They're comfortable. I think they look good. Everything I could ask for.
It means a lot. Seeing the best players in the league, you watching them hit, and you see them with Franklin batting gloves on.
Introducing the MVP Pro Chest Protector from All-Star, offering the best in chest protection technology currently available to those who compete behind the dish, day in and day out. The MVP Pro Chest Protector serves the mobility, protection, and the performance needs of the modern catcher via a series of functional elements engineered for maximum dexterity, comfort, and safety within the abdominal region. All-Star's proprietary 3D U-bar technology expands the catcher's blocking areas by as much as 50%. By expanding the catcher's frontal coverage to include a greater total surface area, the trajectory of a blocked ball can be entirely redirected, allowing the catcher to keep it in front like never before. This means fewer passed balls, less bases advanced upon, and more games won. Having this technology behind the plate vastly impacts the range, coverage, and overall performance of the catcher like no other chest protector in the game. Between the 3D U-bar technology is All-Star's multi-density wedged abdominal foam, engineered to absorb impacts and angle the trajectory of the blocked ball downward. On the backside of the chest protector is the Delta Flex harness, which balances comfort and performance like no other harness available in the game. The harness's firm fit maximizes overall mobility via its inventive material composition, which optimizes breathability and abates the tension otherwise experienced from conventional harnesses. The shoulder region of the product incorporates All-Star's Conform Fit technology, which provides a true form fit around the catcher's collarbone and creates a heightened degree of protection. Toward where the chest protector interacts with the leg is All-Star's 1KD thigh cut silhouette, providing enhanced protection, fit, and feel for the modern catcher looking for one knee down support and continued protection. With the evolution of the game and the advent of the pitch clock, MVP Pro chest protectors now feature Conform Quick Clip technology, which provides for efficient attachment and fastening like never before. The MVP Pro chest protector supports the modern catcher with this series of innovative functional elements, each of which is meticulously engineered to maximize protection, mobility, and performance to an impressively high extent. Maximize what you can do behind the plate, now with the cutting-edge technology offered by the All-Star MVP Pro chest protector.
Welcome back to the New Balance Future Stars Series Selection Show, picks 22 through 31. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, here they are, starting with Joe Perillo, a left-handed pitcher. Ethan Walls, a right-handed pitcher. Right-handed pitcher Dylan Causey. Right-handed pitcher shortstop Cooper Fleming. Another right-handed pitcher, Noah Hanohano. Right-handed pitcher Hunter Wallerstein. A right-handed pitcher, third baseman Manny Durantis. A left-handed pitcher from Florida, Alan Soler. A right-handed pitcher and outfielder, Zach Malvazio. And from the class of 2026, right-handed pitcher, Jenker Romero. So there is our third group, and I think we have to start off with another son of a former big leaguer. That is Alan Soler, 6'2", 175. He's committed to UCF. What do you see from this lefty?
Pitchability, velocity, upside, feel for the breaking ball. It's going to be, look, he throws two. There's a slider and a curveball right now. I told him in Nashville it's going to be a slider. The changeup right now, today, and I hate putting present big league grades on stuff because they're so far away. It's a plus big league pitch right now. He gets figures out right now with that changeup, and that fastball he executes to both sides of the plate. It's an electric combo that's tough for either side to face. When he finds his breaking ball consistently, it's a big league starter. Fits right in the over rotation, similar to, and not a perfect comparison, but Dallas Keuchel.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
We've talked so much about two-way players. Here's another one, Zach Malvazio, center fielder, can pitch, 6'3", 195 from Fort Lauderdale. Also a UCF commit, led his high school team with 8 homers as a junior. It seems like a very high ceiling for him as well.
Yeah, it's a big upside here. Power, speed, arm strength, defensive ability, great makeup. You know, he hit a ball that might still be going at Vanderbilt. You know, he arrived on time and, man, he leveraged it. But the thing about Zach is the hustle. He was in the outfield. He dove for a ball. He basically took off almost half his leg on turf burn. He put some back on him, went right back out there and competed, didn't miss a pitch. Zach took the ball, he threw, and it was like, hey man, you want to pitch today? Yeah, let me throw. 91, 92. I'm like, what are we doing? But that's the type of athlete he is, type of upside. He's underappreciated right now, Jason, but might be Jeff Francoeur.
And if you're starting a basketball team with some of these kids, 6'7", 190, that is Hunter Wallerstein from East Lake, Florida. College of Charleston commit. What do you like? Obviously size. What else do you like about Hunter?
Well, the calling card for the guys that we have is that they throw strikes, right? They have more than one pitch. They don't just pitch with their fastball. They can pitch with their fastball. More than one pitch with execution and some kind of angle to deceive hitters. This guy has a lot of the Jared, Jeff, Dreamweaver to them, right? I mean, this guy's got some stuff he can do to command the fastball and execute, and he knows how to extend the strike zone. That said, the velocity has ramped up a little bit. He's up to 92, 93. It's just going to continue to trend the right direction.
And here's a player you have a long history with, Manny Durantes, right-handed pitcher, third baseman from NorCal. He's a Cal commit, 6'2", 220, 88, 92 miles an hour on the mound. I think at the Fresh 50 at the University of Arizona, you were dropping Vinny Castilla comp. Do I remember that correctly?
Affirmative. But, the thing is, he arrives on time and has a lot of power. Manny, I go back and forth with. I go back and forth. One day he's a position player, next day he's a pitcher. I saw him over the fall in NorCal, and it was easy, and it was fast, and it was electric. And then he went into Globe Life and played in the showdown against the junior college teams and did both well in January. He's going to decide. He's one of those guys that's going to decide. Now, the body, if he's a position player, it's Vinny Castilla. And if he's on the mound, it's Rudy Cianez, which are both good players.
A player who must have felt home at the National Combine, Cooper Fleming, who's a Vanderbilt commit from California.
Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zobrist. So that's what, 10, 15 years in the big?
A lot of extra base hits and a lot of defensive stability and some ability to move around the field. And the guy that everybody says, hey, man, this guy can redefine a position, just like Zobrist did. Great makeup, like all Vandy commits. Great makeup kid, good family. Again, back to ball skills. Pull side power, but I see 50 doubles in this guy's future if he gets 500 at bats. He's hit a lot of doubles, hit about 280 in the big leagues.
The final one of this group that we're going to talk about, class of 2026. Ooh, here's a comp, which I have seen you throw out there before on Jenker Romero due to that loose and fast arm. Irvin Santana, because he's low 90s with 2 projectable breaking balls?
Yeah, 94, 95 now. The body can support it. It's a whippy velocity. It's a very, very fast arm. Dominican kid, another one of those Dominican pipeline type guys, settled in Massachusetts. So, he's good to be in that area. He's also going to pitch in the underclass elite, which is going to be at Fenway Park. So just kind of be part of both of this. But it's a type of upside. Irvin Santana, I might not be doing Romero justice. That's how much I believe in this kid. He can throw a bunch of strikes and sink the baseball and keep guys off the barrel.
The Future Stars series, the future stars of tomorrow on display as the Texas Rangers will be hosting this event in October. And now let's take a quick break before we finish the rosters. We're about halfway through on the selection show.
Hey, hey, hey. What you got to say? Say hey, hey, hey. What you got to say?
We got now.
I've been using Franklin my whole life. I fell in love with them when I was young, playing in high school, wearing them, and all the way up to the big leagues.
Semi-superstitious. If I'm playing well with the set, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be on my hands every single day.
I love them. They're comfortable. I think they look good. It's everything I could ask for.
It means a lot. Seeing the best players in the league, you watching them hit, and you see them with Franklin batting gloves on.
Introducing the MVP Pro Catcher's Helmet from All-Star, the game's most preferred mask at the professional level. Engineered with All-Star's proprietary deflection technology, the MVP Pro Helmet incorporates a series of deflection shock hammocks designed to reduce and displace impacts sustained by the head. The shock absorption technology is built directly into both the forehead and chin regions for maximum directional protection against foul tips and other impacts. The MVP Pro helmet is also manufactured with laser-cut padding, which reduces the weight of the product and enhances overall breathability. With its innovative I-bar BSP technology, the MVP Pro helmet provides for an unprecedented degree of protection against backswings and other impacts likely to be sustained on the side of the head. In this game, precision matters. All-Star is committed to providing a helmet engineered to support both the protective and performance needs of the modern catcher at every level of the game. Upgrade your headgear now with the MVP Pro helmet from All-Star.
Last game, we put him to sleep. Do something to get his attention. Make a great play.
Welcome back to the New Balance Future Stars Series main event selection show. We are now hitting picks 32 through 41, Jeremy. So here they are. At number 32, Landon Brown, a right-handed pitcher. He's from the class of 2026. Another class of 2026 right-handed pitcher, Hudson Reed. Riley Furrow, right-handed pitcher. A pitcher from California, lefty Jace Johnson. right-handed pitcher Ian Hillary, catcher Tate Williams, catcher Zach Bretza, another catcher Derek Martinez. From Illinois, catcher infielder Dominic Bonilla, and at number 41, catcher Aiden Asher. And for those who don't know, Jeremy Booth is a former professional catcher. So with all the catchers in this group, let's run them down, starting with a kid from up the road from Houston, but he's from San Antonio, Tate Williams. Uncommitted, what do you like about Tate?
Tate can catch and throw, man. It's consistently under 2 flat. It's on the bag. He swings the bat, but when you're behind the plate, and whatever you give offensively is still a little bit of a bonus for me. And I say that as somebody who once upon a time was allegedly able to swing the bat. But when it comes to what happens with Tate Williams, he handles the staff, he moves well behind the plate. It's a quick release, it's good footwork, and the body's built for it. Think Chris Iannetta.
Chicago Hope Academy, that is where Dominic Bonilla goes to school, catcher, but also I've seen him play third base at the Fresh 50 game at the University of Arizona in Tucson. Will he stay behind the plate?
Yeah, so Dom, he's a catcher third baseman. That's what he does. But he showed up in Nashville, remember, third year with us, playing third. And I said, man, where's your gear? Oh, I got a little tweaked. And no, get your gear, get behind the plate. And I was like riding a bike, and that's what he does. This is a throwback as well. Sorry, maybe I'm dating myself here, but that's what these guys are. George Fabregas, Angels and White Sox.
And then we talked about some Canadians. Here's another one from Mississauga Tigers, Aiden Asher. He was 4 for 5 in his first 2 games at the Combine tournament up in Nashville. What impresses you most about Aiden?
Athleticism. He's a way better athlete than you would think when you're thinking about a catcher. He can do a lot of things, foot speed, he can play the outfield, he can catch, he can definitely catch. But when you're building a player, not everybody's only one guy that can play there at one time. His versatility is going to give him some options, as well as always having offensive ability keeps in the lineup.
Oh, you talked versatility? How about Zach Bretza from Trombley Baseball, Santa Ana? He's been through the ranks in your program, high character, work ethic, all 9 positions, but do you think he eventually winds up at catcher?
I think he catches it. He's a guy that kind of has a stop sign. Like, you don't want to run on this guy. It's on the bag, it releases third base, he controls the staff. But he's also got some Brandon Inge in him, right? He's a guy that can move around a little bit, play some third, play some second, play some left field. He's a catcher. And one of the calling cards of this group of catchers that we have so far is their versatility. They can do other things and play different places, which allows them to stay on the field no matter where they land.
Let's go to the mound. Jace Johnson, up to 89 miles an hour, 6'5", 190, left-handed. There's a lot to dream on there when you have a lefty who's 6'5", 190.
Yeah, big frame, similar to a Chuck Finley type back in the day. Also another old school comparison. Sorry guys, a lot of Southern California baseball growing up. But when it comes to what he is, it's a big frame, it's a good arm, it works. He was 80, 82, maybe 83 in June. And he's living 87, 89 right now. That is a big jump. It says the body is ready for it. It says he's progressing properly. He hasn't added 50 pounds, Jason. Like, there's not that type of hey, wait a minute, growth. And he's the type of guy that's going to pitch and he's going to pass people. He can execute. He commands the fastball already. He's been built properly. I'm excited to see what he can do.
And lastly, we love to talk comps. Landon Brown, 2026, future high draft pick, because you see a Clay Buchholz here.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys giving him a lot of love now, which is good for him, right? I mean, no one knew who he was. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
Is that we go find these guys and nobody knows who they are. We put them on the map and they pass guys who are a little more famous. And he's definitely that type of guy. He's becoming famous now, up to 93, lives 91, 92. It's the body to support it again. It's not something that we're worried about popping. There are some delivery cleanup to get done. Clay Buchholz is definitely the comparison. On the other side, there's pull side power, there's consistent contact, there's defensive ability at third, a little bit of Scott Rowland.
And now let's talk about a Future Stars alum, a player who Jeremy knows very well, who's now at Vanderbilt, Deegan Cordova, Future Stars Series alum. Here's Deegan's story in his own words.
Early on, it's just like become a family for me. I know, like, being in Lake Havasu City, it's a small area, and they kind of put me on the big map to like represent myself. And everywhere I go, it seems that they're here. In Nashville, after that helped me get here. It's just a big family, connections all around, and can't be grateful. I'm more than grateful for that.
Thanks so much, Deegan. And Jeremy, how rewarding is it for you to see Deegan excelling the way he is?
You know, there's a special relationship here with this group of players when they come through here. They have a requirement, and that's to pay it forward. Appreciate where you are and pay it forward to the next group. Make it better for those coming behind you and give them some kind of a guidance and an example. I couldn't be prouder of Deegan. There's a special relationship with Vanderbilt, too, obviously, you know, and that's the right place for him, and he's thriving with Tim Corbin and staff.
And now, here we go, the final selections for the New Balance Future Stars Series main event selection show, players 42 through 60. Let's get it going with A.J. Terry, an infielder from New Jersey. Jordan Enriquez, an infielder. Joe Philip Guzman, infielder from Texas. Jordani Marcano, infielder. Connor Simpson, an outfielder from Mississippi. T.J. Sunderhouse, outfielder. Braden Smith, outfielder. Outfielder Carlos Rivera. From Texas, Jake Krosecki, an outfielder first baseman. First baseman outfielder Aaron Jacobson. Outfielder Juan Serra. Another outfielder Danny Weidman. Infielder Kenyon Hughes. Outfielder Luka Dodig. Outfielder Devin Hillary. Athlete Jorian Wilson from Texas. First baseman, also from Texas, Jack Castile. Right-handed pitcher, outfielder Dylan Harrison. And finally, right-handed pitcher Connor Jones. And Jeremy, big group, big upside. Let's start with Joe Philip Guzman and what you think of what Joe Philip Guzman brings to the table.
You know, you're not going to find a guy that plays harder than this kid. I don't care where you're looking. I don't care if you're looking at Sandlot baseball at 5 years old or in the big leagues in a stadium running around. The comparison, unfair, little Altuve. That's what he is. He's a younger Altuve type guy. Now, I saw Jose Altuve in AA. I'm not the type of guy that says, oh, we loved him. I tell the truth. Yeah, you thought he was a big leaguer, but if you thought he was a Hall of Famer, you're lying, okay? And this guy right now has everything he does says baseball player. He knows how to bunt for a hit, knows how to steal bases, he can drive the baseball, he can play in the middle. He's fun to watch, he's a spark plug type.
The first name off the board for this group was A.J. Terry, North Carolina commit, Randolph High School, New Jersey.
Yeah, the one thing about our staff that they felt about A.J. Terry was he was going to hit, right? And the more I watched A.J., the more I began to appreciate him. And when I say that, I'm talking about this guy's going to rake, man. At some point in time, he's going to show up in a big league lineup. It could be a little Ugla. It could be a little Dustin Pedroia. I don't know if he's going to slide to third base. I don't know yet. I know that at shortstop, he's going to go to college. He's going to play short if he gets to North Carolina. After that, he may run into people that move him. But the bat's going to play. He runs enough. He's athletic, and he's going to be able to hit the baseball.
The one thing that just jumps off my board here when talking about TJ Sunderhouse is work ethic. Work ethic, I have it underlined, I have it capitalized, I have it on here repeatedly. Yeah. Work ethic.
It's one of those things you can't teach, right? You either got to do it or you don't. There's a kind of a price to being good, and there's really a price to being great. And his family and his background, his support system says greatness. TJ is a kid that when you're around him, he kind of stops everything that's happening. You pay attention to what he's doing. He consistently pours his best effort into things. Now that said, it's not just effort. There's some ability. The talent's there, and he can play center field, and he can throw, and he can hit. And he had a ball over the bag, a two-hop over the bag, and was laid out of the box in Nashville, and it was like a 4-1 down the line. And I was like, I'm in right here because of the hustle, because of the foot speed, because of the compete. Sometimes players don't realize it's those type of plays that say you're going to be able to have a career. It's not necessarily the swinging out of the ballpark and swinging and missing. And, you know, if you watch some of the other baseball around the game, even some of the most recent amateur play baseball that's been broadcast or seen, man, there's a lot of strikeouts. And our guys don't do that. They put the ball in play and they have a role profile for the future.
From Puerto Rico, you have Carlos Rivera, the outfielder, 6'3", 185, certainly looks the part and performed. He was very good in the batting cage at the National Combine.
He pulled his hamstring, tweaked his hamstring. And I'm gonna go with pull when in air quotes because he finished a 60 and still ran a 6'3", right? So imagine if he hadn't tweaked something when he was running, man, maybe it's a 5.5, like a real 5.5. Anyway, it's an 80 athlete. That's what he is. 80 athlete. Jump through the roof, has power, can throw, can hit. The instincts to play, I was Jury was out a little bit. And then he stayed on a ball at the second baseman. That was a tough pitch to hit, and played in the strike zone and be able to let his barrel work. And I said, okay, he can do it. And the fact that he can do it says that all those tools that he has, all that athletic ability has a chance to become real. That's why he's in this event.
Juan Serra, outfielder, Archbishop McCarthy High School. He's from Florida as well. Give us a little your take on Juan Serra.
Hitter. Left-hand hitter.
One word.
Yeah, hitter. I mean, there's, where he's going to play, I don't know. I'm not sure I care, to be honest with you. I think that's type of bat. It's a 6 bat. It's got 6 power, which for your guys at home, that's 275 and 30. He can do those type of things in the box, and he can drive the baseball. He's hiding in plain sight in Miami. Maybe goes to college first, maybe not. Type of guy gets some helium late, but it's a big bat with a lot of power.
You mentioned hiding in plain sight. I think this next player, just plain hiding. I know you're extremely excited because we talked about him before the show here. Jorian Wilson, 6'4", 235, lefty, runs well for his size. Jeremy, I saw the video you sent me, and I thought Cliff Floyd.
You're not wrong. I mean, that's what I got. I mean, because Cliff Floyd, it's a long-time big league skill set. I saw him in a game. I saw him with us in an events, and I saw him with, he's a football quarterback. He's a basketball player, and I went and saw him, worked him out separate. I'm not going to lie. I went and saw him again for the third time.
Separately?
Yeah, I had to see it again for the third time. And he makes the ball, as we say in baseball, get small real fast, man. He's going to go upper deck in whatever stadium he plays in. But it's impressive. He stays on the ball and goes the other way. In the outfield, it's an easy plus arm. Best part about Jorian is the human being that he is, and the young man, and where he's going to develop into where he's going with what the kind of person he is. But, and I want to say this, and he's only 16. He could be a 26. He's 16 years old. He'll turn 17 on August 30th. That's where this guy is. 6'4", 235, upside, man-child strength, chiseled out of stone, and still a lot of room to grow and to become who he is. He's going to be fun.
And there they are, your 60 players for the main event, October 4th through the 6th, as the Texas Rangers are now your host. But Jeremy, you just can't throw them out there. Who's going to be leading these two squads?
Well, it's actually a pretty extended staff, Jason. We have some coaches who are part of our organization. Our development staff will be there. Even some Major League Scouts will be on the field. We have 2 managers, though. We had to select 2 guys. And so those managers for the Rangers team will be Steve Trombley from Trombley Baseball in Southern California, who's a founding partner program, if you will. And the other one is Dan Bugarin. Dan Bugarin is from NorCal Baseball, and Dan is also NorCal, founding partner program. And as we moved into this phase of the event and this type of graduating class, both those guys are heavily represented, and they're with us.
Jeremy, the selection show is done, almost. What are your thoughts about what we've done today and all of these players coming to your main event?
The class of 25 is defined by depth, right? And the guys that separate themselves with skills are the ones that are going to get paid next July. Ultimately, I tell these kids and we tell all these players, this is a business now. Maybe not yet, but it's transitioning into one. And you have to understand that value is how you get paid. None of us are doing in baseball just as much as we love it. It's still a job. And when it comes to that, these kids are prepared for that. I'm excited for this group. Every year, these guys that come into this thing pass to the other ones that are around, as long as they take hold of the opportunity. And this is the type of group that's going to do that.
All right, those are your final words from Jeremy Booth. My name is Jason Bristol. That's going to wrap up this selection show. And as we leave you, here are your other selections for Jeremy's other events, the New Balance Future Stars Series. We're signing off here from Houston, and we can't wait to see you in October.
Because when you come here, the standard's different. Everyone knows that. This is gone. The entire strong part of your body's gone. You're just hitting the core. Yeah. Reset up. Close. Try. Yeah. So your balance change. Rotate. Rotate. Nope. These are last. Those first. Feet, hips, hands, go.